this is me, Shiloh. I'm relatively new, so I'm going to do a quick introduction before I get to the exact point of this video. I'm about 30. I'm the single parent of 2 beautiful children. I am very much involved in an organization called GT, which I will probably do a separate video on later. And among all these things, I am a little thing called otherkin. I'll let you think about that for a moment. Otherkin. I know you've heard about it before. Almost everybody on the internet has, but in case you haven't, the base point of otherkin, the basic idea, is that part of your identity is something other than human. I've met people whose identity can be anything from a crow, a centaur, a slug, a velociraptor, which I've seriously met on forums, elves, and they are not quite as common as you'd expect. Most of the people who originally identified as elvenkin or fairykin did so because they were enamored with the Lord of the Rings around the early 2000s and have since left the community because it was more of an RP for them than their actual identity. But otherkin. The concept of having a non-human soul, at least in modern times, is a lot older than most people think. The otherkin community actually started with the Silver Elves and their belief that part of their soul was not human. Now, one of the biggest questions that is often asked here is, why do you think your soul is not human? Depends on who you ask, really. Some otherkin believe in reincarnation. They believe that their soul is at least partially non-human and that they have lived a life as another being. Others believe that it's more of a neurological difference in this life that leads them to more strongly identify as a non-human being. I'm not the latter. I don't really know enough about the latter to intelligently discuss it, so I'm going to stick with a spiritual version rather than a psychological version, simply because that's actually what I know. Reincarnation. Yes, the concept of reincarnation has been around, and believe it or not, reincarnating from non-human animals, at least earthbound non-human animals, that idea has been around for a very long time. Off the top of my head, I know that Buddhism actually supports the concept of reincarnating into a higher, what they consider a higher or lower species, depending on how your karma is this life. I do believe Hinduism does the same thing. Please do correct me if I am wrong, but this is my understanding of their belief systems. For me, though, being reincarnated as another being would not be higher or lower. It would be simply something different. It would be a different experience. Let's say a wolf pack would be definitely a different experience when it comes to family structure. Or elves. Elves definitely structure their families a whole lot differently than humans. From my understanding and some vague memories, it's a whole lot more communal in most places. And it's hard to explain, but there's more of a caste system, though most people do not have any intention of abusing it, because I don't remember power being a very strong motivator for most. Of course, there are always exceptions. Any species has exceptions. All sentient species have exceptions. I mean, seriously. The diversity of this planet and humans on this planet should be a pretty good indicator of that. But back on topic. All otherkin is the concept that your soul, or part of your identity, is something not human. And if you guys have any questions about this, leave them in the comments. Hate will be deleted. This is just a warning, just a heads up. And I will see you next video. Toodles! Bye for now.